Hey guys, welcome back to The Difference. Donald Trump is slashing DEI spending. He's cutting it everywhere. The liberals are losing their minds. They're outraged over it. Kevin McCarthy, in the clip I'm going to show you here, is reacting to all this. And stay tuned to the end of it, guys, because he moves to talk about California and Newsom, Governor Newsom. You don't want to miss what he says there. Check it out.
More on this. Former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Last night on the 5, I said DEI was like a tapeworm. Got in there and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Ilhan Omar, of course, the congresswoman, you know her. She didn't like this. Listen to her here.
It's incredibly alarming. We as a country strive to create a more equitable space for everyone. When they talk about creating a more efficient workplace, that is what DEI hires essentially do.
In your experience in the government, how did DEI affect day-to-day operations?
It killed productivity because no longer did you want to put your very best in, because that's not how you were promoted. You were promoted by your sexuality, promoted by the color of your skin. But then it infiltrated business. We've watched it go across. So America was losing productivity throughout business. This is a major cultural change that gets us back to the heart of the core of what America is. Everybody has an opportunity, but it's based upon your own skill and merit of what you put in. This will have everlasting changes and make America much stronger.
So that's one change. Here's another one. Come back to work, like full time. Here's the memo for federal workers in Washington. The only way to get employees back to the office is to adopt a centralized policy requiring return to work for all agencies across the federal government. Seeking to cajole individual agencies to try to get employees to return to the work site has not succeeded. How you lived and worked in Washington? How's that going to go over?
Well, let me tell you this. When we took the majority in the House 2 years ago, this is one of the bills we passed out of the House that Schumer actually killed in the Senate, and the president fought hard. Even in the last days before he left office, he wanted to cut a deal with the union long term so people would not have to return. This is what makes people so upset about government. Government should work for them. And you know what? COVID was over. So when we ended COVID, people should be back. It's providing service to the constituents. Nobody's there. And why are we spending money if half of the workforce, federal workforce, is not back at work? Do you need that larger workforce? Or do you need that asset of those buildings? Those were the assets you could actually sell, pay down the debt, and another place that America could become stronger and more efficient and more accountable.
Let's talk about your home state of California. And President Trump will be traveling there tomorrow. He'll be doing some touring of the damage from the wildfires. Here's what he said to Sean Hannity.
And again, guys, as you're watching this, just listen to what they're saying about everything that happened in California over the last few weeks. Also, do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up like button. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate the support, guys. Okay, check it out.
Last night.
Remember when I took criticism because I said you have to manage your fires? Look at what happened. Los Angeles, that's like a nuclear weapon went off, what's happened to Los Angeles.
So
and,
sad.
that thing went for 4 or 5 days. Nobody was even fighting it because they didn't have any water. Their fire departments aren't funded properly.
And we see there was a photo of you touring in 2018 when President Trump went and met with Gavin Newsom. It's a different feeling right now in terms of what state and local officials did not do to protect those homes in California.
Well, it's very frustrating because when I went with President Trump, we went out to the Paradise Fire where 85 Californians died. Then we flew down and went to the Malibu Fire. And I sat there and listened to President Trump tell Gavin Newsom, who's been in office for more than 12 years, you've got to take out this brush because a fire will burn, but not if it doesn't have fuel. And then when you talk about water, the President Trump had actually worked because in Northern California is where our water, where our snowpack is, it gets sent down south. He continues to send it out to the ocean. But what's even worse than a derelict duty here is in LA County, they did not have a backup generator. But if you just go over to Hermosa Beach that has a water system by a private water company, they have a backup generator. So it wouldn't go out. It would be prepared repaired. It's all these mishaps. Then the insurance, many people have lost their insurance down there before this fire took place. There's this devastating story of a grandfather of a friend. He did not leave the house because his insurance was canceled 6 months before, nothing that he had done. So he stayed there, defaulted, and lost his life. This is again, Gavin Newsom has failed California in so many different ways. And one of the core jobs of elected official, private safety, make sure you have the protection when it comes to a fire. The fundamental things you should do, and he's calling a special election, worried about what Trump may do in the future. He should have listened to Trump when we were with him on the last fire and learned from that before he took office.
Well, pay attention to that tomorrow and the days to come.
Man, guys. Well, our thoughts and prayers are, again, with all those that are being affected and have been affected by those devastating fires there in California. I want to bring it back around to DEI, right? That's why you clicked on the video. And if you're still here, by the way, you're one of the real ones. I appreciate you so much. Do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Join the community. If you're not a subscriber, you want more of this content, guys, because we're building a community of people that want to make a difference for this country, and we stand on conservative Christian principles. But bringing it back to DEI, there's the focus on merit, and I want to know what you all think about this, but shouldn't federal hiring prioritize qualifications and performance over identity? Right? And that's the premise that the Republicans are going on, right? That's the conservative mindset is when you hire someone, you look at their qualifications. You look at their performance. That's what Trump says, be colorblind. So curious to know what y'all think, but leave a comment down below. But here's the thing. Efficiency does matter. And in our government, if we redirected some funds from DEI programs to improve government productivity and efficiency, the Democrats are saying this is devastating, but is not. I think the focus is too much on DEI and not on where the money is going. Everyone's saying he's cutting spending. He's cutting spending. Well, he's redirecting spending to government productivity, government efficiency, which, come on, guys, I think we could probably all get behind this. And then unity over division. I think this is so big. And again, you're going to have to help me out in the chat, guys, because obviously I just don't know. But doesn't DEI initiatives unintentionally create division by focusing on differences rather than common values? See, I'm not a psychologist, right? I'm not a sociologist. But it makes sense to me that if you want to bring unity, you build bridges instead of constantly focusing on the shortcomings, constantly focusing on the differences. And also, you got to think about this as a taxpayer. Are your hard-earned dollars being used effectively on practical, meaningful initiatives? Because think about it as an investor, guys. It's your money you're paying in taxes every year. Think of it as an investment in the U.S. government. What initiatives do you want the government to focus on with your money? So if you were going to spend your money somewhere, would you spend money on DEI? Is it a good investment? What is the return? What's your return on your investment? Think about it. Or would you rather spend your money on like the Doge Commission to start cutting things in the government that are a waste and don't give any return? But I think what we're trying to get to is a world that's inclusive for everyone, right? I don't think we're on different sides there. I think that anyone and everyone is going to say that we all are for inclusivity. But is true inclusivity achieved through policies that are treating everyone equally, maybe, rather than favoring specific. Just think about it. Think about it. Okay. Would you rather have policies that treat everyone equally to achieve this inclusivity for all, or would you rather have policies that favor specific groups? I know you can argue either side. Argue it down in the comments, guys. Argue it down in the comments. But that's just the question there. And I'll say this, guys, that common sense dictates one way over the other. Common sense tells us what the correct answer is. So again, final question for you, and let me know what you think, but do you agree with Trump's decision to cut funding for DEI initiatives and bring federal workers back to the office? Talk about that too, because we didn't talk a lot about that, right? They're bringing all the workers back. Imagine that, having to go to work. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys. Do you agree? Do you support Trump's decision on both of these DEI initiatives, bringing federal workers back? Let me know in the comments, guys. Hey, do me a big favor, hit that like button. Again, it really helps out the channel, guys. I appreciate all the support. Every like tells the YouTube algorithm this is a video that needs to be watched. So if you agree with what we're doing, if you support what we're doing, hit that like button. If not, that's all right. Understand. It's a place for free speech. And we're building a community where we can respect each other and talk to each other as adults instead of as children, like some of the people in our government are guilty of. Anyway, guys. All right. Y'all have a great one. I'll be back later with another video, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you then. All right, guys. Take it easy.